Anyway, my spoof that I did on Snoop Doggy Dogg, I clicked it to private. You know, I never intended to leave it there more than a few hours. But I do want to comment on the case as to what we have become, where everyone said the cops, they don't know what they're doing, they helped him escape. The FBI, they don't know what they're doing, they let him get away. That part is true. That part is true, but they made it clear we did everything we could legally, and at the time he was not a suspect for the murder, that Gabby had only been reported missing even by the parents a few days earlier. You know, so our main institutions, politics of all forms, cops, FBI, they had it right on. And yet everyone was saying what idiots they were to stay in that swamp. And it turned out they had it right on. As far as me, it's not me. I do want to upload a separate video about that, what I just talked about. Nothing to do with making fun or spoof or nothing like that. However, I did upload, and I made not hundreds, but many dozens of comments on other pages that the parents seemed innocent and that it was a suicide, and that they, based on that, if it was, I told them, and I also messaged Snoop Dogg himself on Facebook. Not a comment that, well, maybe he will see it. No, I said, you got to swallow your pride and get down there to the swamp, and you have to think like a suicide. You have to think like a suicide. That we'll assume the car was parked here on the grass. If it was over here, you know, I don't care about that. But let's assume it was parked here on the grass. He blatantly parked it right on the grass, as if a suicide, that he was going to go in and do it immediately. And so I surmised that if you think like a suicide, that they were wrong to be running all over into hell and creation, that he's out there hiding, that to think like a suicide, that he would have walked in on the trails, you know, he would have crossed the bridge. I believe this is the bridge. This could be the bridge. It doesn't matter, but let's assume this is the bridge. That I surmised that if it's suicide, which it clearly was, then he would have went no further than maximum 1 mile from the car. And so where was he found? He was found a half mile from the car. You know, so they say, well, the online sleuths and stuff, that out of the thousands of comments, they do happen upon stuff and figure stuff out. And I was consistent with that if you take this as a radius of where he walked over and walked in, I said he will be in a radius like this. Not over here, that was off the trail, but he would be in among the canopies where he walked off the trail, not far from the car. Anyway, that's right where he was found. I mean, what? Are they going to send me a $500 tip? No, they won't, because they're going to analyze my stuff and say, well, God, he seems like a jerk. Guy seems like a jerk. He don't get no money. But, you know, the sad thing is they're both dead. And as far as Brian Laundrie, you have to admit, she didn't have no marks on her. That everyone said she would fly off the handle and slap and hit at him, which even at the Moab stop, Moab, that the cops were going to charge her, not him. And she said, I hit him, he didn't hit me, and blah, 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 blah. You know, so you got to consider that. And also at the nursery where he worked, the people said he didn't seem like no killer to us at all. That Gabby would come around, and if she talked to other guys, he would go over and kiss her and put his arm around her and kind of pull her off to the side. Well, who wouldn't do that? You know, but they look at it now, well, he's a monster, a control freak, didn't want her to have no friends. Well, who wouldn't do that? Who wouldn't do that? But anyway, he was found where I predicted, it's not that I'm clairvoyant, that I said, think like a suicide. He wouldn't go in far. He would go in and go under a canopy of trees and do it. And apparently that's what he did. But, you know, so they say online sleuths come up with stuff. And also I commented even to the laundries, Snoop Dogg, everybody, and they do monitor it. I said to think like a suicide. He won't be far. He'll be in here. Like here's a trail going across the river. It doesn't matter if it's this one. But sure enough, how do I know the laundry parents didn't see what I was saying? They do monitor my stuff. That I said, think like a suicide. He's not going to be over here and all over hell and creation, 900,000 acres. Well, how did they go to him? Straight to him. What a mystery. They must have planted stuff. No, I said that he will be in a short distance off the trail under a canopy of trees, and he would have killed himself within, yeah, I don't know. It's not where his remains and stuff was found was 45 minutes walking, and that's if a person walked at top speed directly. You know, what if he stopped and thought, he goes, how can I do this? How can I do this? But anyway, that is where he was found, a half a mile from the car. So what? You know, what? Are they going to save me any money? No, I doubt it. I doubt it. And also, the thing is, I didn't have a tip like, well, Brian said he killed him and dropped him off here, go here. That's different. I was just using known information. So that you don't get no reward money for that.